So, if like me you think, based on the previous video, that America is likely to head towards a recession, and I certainly do, maybe there's other parts of the world which can save us from this. Let's have a look at Europe. Is Europe likely to keep the world economy going? Well, Germany, which has traditionally been seen as the powerhouse of Europe, itself is fighting a recession. And so it seems unlikely that we're going to see it coming from there. And of course, they've lost their cheap energy coming through the Nord Stream pipeline from Russia, as that mysteriously got blown up. But also they have, and many other countries in Europe, have actually shut down their nuclear power plants, which many would see as being a good form of clean energy. On top of this, they now are importing more fossil fuels than ever on the back of all of this. On top of that, inflation is rampant right throughout Europe. And of course, because of all of this, you would feel that it's highly likely that they are going to have an energy crisis perhaps in Europe, because they certainly have lost a couple of various options of cheap energy. Food looks like it could be an issue, and so it's highly likely we see even higher inflation across the Eurozone. So the potential for recession in the Eurozone by most analysts seems to be quite high. Of course, Russia itself is at war. And then you look to China. In the last financial crisis, many would believe that China actually pulled the world economy out of recession. Is that likely to happen this time? Well, China has their own issues. Evergrande, one of the biggest building property firms in the world, have officially declared bankruptcy. They had about 300 billion in debt at the time. This is 5 times higher than the debt Lehman Brothers had, which triggered the financial crisis last time. On top of that, the biggest developer in China by volume, Country Gardens, have missed payments now too, and look quite likely to also go into bankruptcy, which means the property sector, which is about a third of the GDP in China, looks like it's in massive trouble there. On top of that, they have shadow banks that are looking for bailouts, and their unemployment reporting has gone over 20%, to which point they have now decided that they're not going printing that any further. So with all this information and with what appears to be quite negative news across the world, is it quite likely that the world is heading towards a recession? It's personally my view that I think that is going to happen. And if that is the case, how do you prepare? What can you do to position yourself well to protect yourself, your family and your finances, and maybe even benefit? More on the next videos.